Hello everyone, my elegant friends. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are fine wherever you are and that the COVID situation is not doing too much to you negatively. So I know I'm looking super dressed up today and it's because beauty is actually my defense mechanism. So when I have something really heavy to talk about or something traumatizing, I dress up because I feel like, okay, if everything is not working out externally, internally, then at least it should look inside. Externally, it should look okay. Kind of like having scattered clothes in your wardrobe, and from the outside view, it looks like everything is okay in the wardrobe. So, what is it that I want to talk about today that is very traumatizing? It is the issue of ancestral trauma as it relates to the Black Lives Matter movement. So I want us to just reflect a little bit on what has happened to George Floyd and the negative, backlash and treatment that people of color, especially Africans, are receiving the world over. And so George Floyd died at the hands of the police. Many of you, if you don't know by now, let me just recap. The police was stepping on his neck, and he died very tragically, even calling for his mom. He was like, "Mama, I can't breathe." And it's been trending since May, and it's still trending right now because it's such a sad ordeal. So, what does this have to do with ancestral trauma? The truth is that black people, we've been carrying so much trauma over the centuries, and we're still carrying a lot of trauma that we need to process. Otherwise, we'll keep creating traumatizing situations in our reality today. So the thing is that people were like, "Oh, Black Lives Matter," and then other people were like, "Oh, White Lives Matter too, Pink Lives Matter, Colored Life Matter, or whatever. All lives matter." But the conversation was actually about Black life. But I want to just use this opportunity to move the conversation to another part of the picture that we don't often talk about. And the truth is, a lot of the pain black people are experiencing is rooted in racism and colorism and the issue of slavery. And this is not in any way to disregard the suffering that our ancestors went through. They went through a lot of pain. But I want to talk about other parts of the story that is not very much covered in the media. And that is the fact that although white people came to Africa, to buy slaves, our people were also selling slaves to them, some of them very willingly. I've heard of stories from my grandmother and my mother's mother, my great grandmother, the story she told her own children about slaves that were sold, people that were sold because they were women or because they were the wives of chiefs who didn't really love them, or because they were from another ethnic tribe, or children who were disobedient. They were sold to white men voluntarily for mirrors and gunpowder and other irrelevant things like that. So I just want to say, as much as we know that black people are suffering, oftentimes we are also creating our own suffering. We're also willing participants in our own suffering. So as we want to point the finger outward, we also want to think about it and also remember that we are creating pain as well. So when you treat people from other tribes, or people from other, African Americans say, "Oh, Africans are beneath me," or Africans say African Americans are not the real Africans, or you say, "Oh, he's Yoruba, he's Igbo." All of that is also marginalization, and all of that is the fuel that drives things like racism and structural violence. And you see, I'm actually shaking because I've been a victim of this several times.
Everyone, my name is Amaka Harriet's friend. Harriet, thanks for having me on your channel. I'm just going to be contributing a little on what I know about marginalization, especially marginalization in Africa, in Nigeria here. Growing up wasn't really easy for me because I was an Igbo girl. You always hear things like Omo Igbo ni, Omo Inani, to the extent that when we were about to be elected for prefectship, the vice principal was like, she will not have an Igbo girl ruling in her school, and other teachers were like, but she qualified. She was like, no, she's an Igbo girl. And it was said in my presence. She wasn't bothered about what I felt or how I heard it. No, she wasn't bothered. Or coming to the fact of marriage, right from time it was drummed into our ear that we mustn't marry outside our tribe. Then meeting my friends, I remember meeting a friend of mine and his sister, and when he introduced me, she started speaking in Yoruba, and he was like, "Oh no, she's Igbo, Igbo ni," and the girl was like, "Igbo," and she walked out of the room. So it's everywhere. Even in the east here, we do not sell our lands out to another tribe. It's very rare that you see something like that. I'm skeptical about saying it's impossible, but I've not heard of it or I've not seen. But maybe it's possible. I don't know, but I've not heard about it. Or the fact that I was looking for shop around last 2 years. Yes, around last 2 years. And the landlord kept on telling me, come, you get the shop, come around, come around. I kept on pursuing the shop until say a month or so, and then he told me no, he has given it to his son. I was like, your son? But I've been pursuing this shop. He was like, he has given it to a man, and the man is Yoruba. So you see, I was marginalized as a woman, and I was marginalized because I was from another tribe. I did not get the shop. So if we are looking for how to treat ourselves, they say charity begins at home. We need to start treating ourselves better before we expect other nations to treat us better. We need to break that gap, that thing that is there, that okay, my tribe is superior to this tribe, or I'm better than this person. We need to remove that. So if we want our lives to really matter and make a difference, we need to start treating ourselves like our own lives matter. So as African Americans, they should desist from the thought that they are better than Africans, they are better than we down here. It's if we reduce, or we should start looking into all those little things we do to bring down the next person. I think we'll make a difference. We are going to go far than where we are.
All right, welcome back. So I also now want to quickly say something about victimhood, because that's what a lot of black people are talking. That's victimhood. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. And I am not negating this experience in any way, but I'm just trying to say that you can also use your position as a victim to cause abuse. I hope people keep watching this channel. There's so much more we'll talk about in terms of victimhood and abuse. But people with personality disorders like borderline, narcissistic personality disorder, for example, believe that they are victims, but they hurt other people. They are the abusers. So if you're stuck in victimhood, sometimes you might actually be wrong, because let's be honest, Floyd was rumored to have been carrying a fake dollar bill. So I just want to say that black people, we actually need to do better. I've been saying this all the time on this channel, that we have to do better if we expect better from other people. You have to take yourself seriously if you want people to take you seriously. So talking about victimhood, let me just say something about Sasha Exeter on Instagram. She's an Instagram influencer, and Jessica Mulroney, Meghan Markle's best friend. If you don't know Meghan Markle, that's Prince Harry of UK's wife. I don't know what happened exactly, but I think Sasha was trying to make Jessica to say some things and to support the Black Lives Movement, and Jessica seemed to want to do it at her own time, and it seemed like Sasha was coming across as a bully. And that's exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. Sasha then put this video online. She was crying and saying, oh, support us. And for me, that just came across as, sort of pathetic, unfortunately. That's my humble opinion. You don't force people to support you. It makes you come across as entitled. Fine, we know racism is, something that has to do with structural violence, structures that were put in place by white people. True. But like I said, in some cases, black people are also, reinforcing and helping the structures to become very, very much even stronger. And I'll put a short clip of their, exchange here. But I just want black people to have, access to the trauma that they are feeling, heal from this ancestral trauma. Take permission, give yourself permission to heal. Maybe take a day or two, visit Africa, go to Ghana. And I made a presentation about the year of the return. I'll put the link below. Go to Ghana, heal, so that you do not keep seeing racism, sometimes in places where racism does not even exist. And this is actually the truth, because if you have been traumatized and you've not processed that trauma, you keep seeing incidences that trigger that trauma, even when no one is actually trying to hurt you. You think they're trying to hurt you. And this doesn't justify the whole my protest to your protest, or you're protesting my life matter to whatever stuff that some white people do. And check out this very short video.
Hey, what are you doing? Oh, this house is on fire, so we're gonna go help them. We're gonna go put out the fire. Well, what about my house? What? What about my house? Doesn't it matter? Is your house on fire? No, but, it still matters. Nobody said that it didn't. It's just that this house is on fire, and people's lives are at stake if we don't do something about it. Okay. okay? All houses matter. What?
But it definitely is a very strong clarion call. I hope that Africans watching this will take seriously in terms of healing their own trauma and just understanding that victimhood can be done as a way to abuse people as well.